All right, what's going on, K-State CrossFitters? Hopefully by now you're maybe getting a little bit more used to this online coaching, but it might take a little bit here. But today I'm videotaping for Friday's workout. All right, today we have a max headstand hold, something that maybe is not super familiar, but we'll go through a couple of different variations to get started on those headstands, and then also a quick workout that's just 50 air squats, 50 burpees, and then another 50 air squats. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started into our warm-up. All right, our warm-up is going to be 20 glute bridges, and then 10 on each side of lunges with runner's lunges with a T-spine rotation. Okay, and that's probably something that's not familiar as well, so I'll show you those two. Okay, so first off, with our glute bridges. All right, so glute bridges, I'm going to start off, I'm going to press my heels into the floor. Okay, I'm going to lay back, push my hands into the floor right there, and then I'm going to keep my abs tight and squeeze my glutes up towards the ceiling and then come on down. Think about grabbing the ground with your feet and driving those knees out as you press up. All right, so with these glute bridges, you should be feeling it more in your glutes, as the name says. All right, if you're feeling it more in your hamstrings, then you might have to switch something up to get those right muscles to fire, okay? So keep that in mind. If you're not feeling it in your glutes, find a different position to where you are. Okay, then second thing for your warm-up is you're gonna do 10 of these rotations in the runner's lunge position, okay? So a runner's lunge position, you're just doing a regular lunge, but your back knee is not going to be on the ground, okay? It's going to keep you a little bit more active, get you warmed up a little bit better than a passive lunge, okay? So I'm going to step my right leg forward for this side, all right? I'm going to lift that back knee off, as you can see here, and then leave one hand on the ground that's furthest away from the foot in front, and then the other hand is going to be rotating up towards the sky and then coming back down. All right, 10 of those rotations on each side, and then you'll be ready to get into some headstands. All right, so second, we've got those headstands. All right, this might be a little bit of a tricky thing for some of us. We might not be used to it. So with the headstand, we'll give you, I've got 3 different variations we can choose from, but pick one that's pretty challenging. All right, so first one. All right, we're going to go into a basic tripod position. So just like I was about to do a push-up, I'm going to put my hands about shoulder width apart, and then I'm going to reach my head down to the floor, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to press up into this position with long legs, and I'm just going to be slightly pushing into the floor while I'm kind of halfway upside down. All right, then from there, second, we are going to start getting fully upside down, but we're going to keep our legs close to us and add for a little bit more balance, okay? So this next position, same stance with your hands. My head's going to be on the ground. I'm going to pop up upside down, but keep my legs really tight and close, okay? So just like this. All right, and notice in that position, I was resting my knees on my elbows for a little bit more stability, okay? This might be what most people are gonna have to do just because we might not have the stability for that full headstand, but if we do have the stability, I would really recommend trying it out, okay? And if you're really, like I said, struggling with that stability aspect, then try to keep your abs really tight, and that'll help with it, okay? And then the last variation is going to be that full headstand, and I won't do one here right now, but the full headstand with your feet straight up in the air, vertical, keeping really tight, keeping those feet together, okay? after our headstand, max hold there, we're gonna go into our workout, okay? So air squats and burpees, all right? 50 air squats, 50 burpees, 50 air squats. All right, so first one, the air squat. All right, so about a shoulder width stance we usually have, or mostly what feels comfortable. The stance is not going to be particular to everyone. All right, it's going to be particular to the individual. All right, so shoulder width or so stance. You can be slightly toed out if you want to, not too much toeing out, just like looking like a duck. All right, we don't need any of that. All right. What you're going to do, you're going to start off, squeeze your glutes, drive those knees out, hinge back just slightly, push that butt back just slightly, and then drop down into the squat. All right, so all those things you've probably heard me say a million times. But one thing you probably haven't heard me say before about the air squat is keeping track of your foot stability during the squat. All right, so what I want you to focus on with the air squat today is trying to create a stable arch in your foot while you're squatting. The whole way through your squat, I want you to keep this nice stable arch. Notice how maybe you can see it, maybe you can't with my fancy toe socks here. I'm kind of creating this nice curve right here in my foot. I'm not letting it collapse in like this, okay? So if I was to do one without that nice curve in my foot, see how my arches kind of collapse, and then my knees track with it, all right? So I want you to instead think I'm grabbing the ground with my toes, twisting into the ground, and then reaching those hips back and dropping into the squat, all right? Then, second movement for your workout is that burpee. And there's nothing super fancy about the burpee. The one thing I usually tell people is snap up to a fully standing position instead of snapping up to this kind of crouched position where it's putting all the pressure on your knees. So what that looks like is you're starting, or like if you had dropped down to the floor, from here, you're gonna pop up and not go to here. Instead, you're gonna pop up and go to this flat-footed position and then stand up and get that little pop up off the floor, okay? With that, that's all we have for today. That's your workout, and enjoy these coaches' videos. Hopefully they are really helpful while you can't get to a gym.